Hi everyone. So in this third lesson for this set, this is called Simplifying Rational Expressions Advanced. Okay, in the previous two lessons we looked at how we can simplify rational expressions that have common monomial factors and have common binomial factors. So this one, we're going to take it up another notch. And so the factoring is a little bit more complicated, but again, it's definitely not impossible. So we're going to take a look at how to do some of these problems, all right? All right, let's begin. First problem, it says simplify the following rational expression, express in expanded form. So now they want you to not express it in factored form, but in expanded form. In other words, when you multiply out all of the factors, right? And again, which real values of y make the expression undefined? Which values of y, in other words, will make the denominator equal 0? Okay, we have to identify those. So I've copied it over here, all right, and let's work on it. Again, steps are always the same. Step 1. So step 1, yes, we are ready to go. Step 1, again, factor completely, correct? Step 2, or I called it step 1.5, but yeah, so, well, we can call it step 2, doesn't matter, all right? So we can call it 1.5 if you want to, because you're used to it. Is to, again, identify the, um, the values, identify values not in the domain, right? Not in the domain. Okay, in other words, make the denominator go to 0. Make the denominator equals 0, correct? And then step 2 is to cancel, right? Cancel like factors. Cancel like factors, right? In the top and bottom, top and bottom. Okay, so let's do it. Step 1. Factor completely. Well, take a look. Immediately you should recognize that both of these terms here are perfect squares, correct? With a minus in between. So yes, this is a difference of two squares. So this one's going to factor, the top one's going to factor as 9y plus 13, 9y minus 13. Okay? And on the bottom, now this is a trickier factoring problem here. Now, if you look on the top, they both have 9y, so it's a pretty good guess that one of them is going to have 9y and the other one's just going to have y. Okay? And it's also a pretty good guess that if you said, okay, since the middle term is minus 22, it's going to be negative 22, and the back is 13, it looks like, and if you kind of work this out a little bit, it's going to be 13 and 1. That's the only choice you have. And when you work this out, again, it's positive. The product is positive, but the sum is negative, right? So when is the product positive but the sum negative? When both terms are negative. All right? And again, if you FOIL this, you'll see that it does come out to 9y squared minus 22y plus 13. All right? Trust me on that. Okay, so 1.5, now identify the values of y. Well, 9y minus 13 is equal to 0, or y minus 1 is equal to 0, correct? Set each of the denominators equal to 0. So this one looks like it's going to be 9y. It's going to be y is equal to 13 over 9. And this one's going to be y is equal to 1. So here you have your two restrictions to the domain. So y cannot be either of these. And then let's jump to step 2. Again, let's cancel a little bit. So I'm going to change the color here. And we definitely have the 9y minus 13's canceling, leaving us with just 9y plus 13 over y minus 1. Here is your simplified version. Okay? So 9y plus 13 over y minus 1. 9y minus 13. 9y minus 13 divided by y minus 1. I think, yep, plus 13. Sorry about that. The top is plus 13. All right, and there's our simplified version in expanded form. And our two restrictions were can't be 13 over 9 and 1. Can't be 13 over 9 and 1. And that is correct. Okay, let's work on another one. All right, and let's take a look on this one. We have y to the fourth plus 5y squared plus 6 over 4y to the fifth plus 12y cubed. And we'll try to work on this one on Khan Academy. Okay, let's see how well that goes. Lately, it's been pretty good, right? Lately, the lag has not been as bad. I think that's because I updated my operating system, and it's behaving very well now. Step 1. So we have y, and that's 6, and that's 5. So it looks like it's going to be 3 and 2, correct? 3 and 2. Factor everything completely. All right, and then the bottom we have a common factor. We have a greatest common factor, which is 4y cubed. That's going to leave us with y squared plus 3. Is that correct? I guess so. Hold on. But this is y to the fourth. So it's not just y and y, it's y squared and y squared, correct? Because y to the fourth is y squared times y squared, correct? Okay, that makes a lot more sense. And now let's do our restrictions. Again, set each of these denominator factors equal to 0. So 1.5, it's 4y cubed is equal to 0, therefore y is equal to 0. And then we have, that's one restriction, and then y squared plus 3 is equal to 0. Well, that's going to give us negative 3. That's an imaginary, right? We have to take the square root. So square root of negative 3, that's going to be imaginary, so that's out. So there's our only restriction right there. And let's finish it up. Step 2. Step 2, sorry. Step 2, so let's start canceling. We have y squared plus 3, y squared plus 3. Here are here's the leftover, right? So y squared over 2 over 4y cubed, and I believe that is our final simplified expression. So let's come over here, let's type it in. Y squared plus 2 over 4y cubed. And our restriction is just y equals 0. And let's check. And that is correct. Okay, guys? All right, let's do a couple more. We're at the end of this set, so let's do a couple more. Let's go back and do a couple more. All right. All right, let's look at this one. Simplify and express in expanded form. All right, we got lots of space on this. I like that. All right, so let's do the top. The top one. Again, let us factor completely. Again, really factoring is really an art. So you have 6m squared. You have m and y, right? You have two variables going on. So again, you have a few choices here. You could do, you could do like 6 and 1 up here, right? So you could do like a 6m and then do like an m, right? And this is minus y, so it's going to be y and y here, like that, because y times y is y squared. It's negative. The product is negative, so one of them is positive, one of them is negative, correct? So, but I would pick the negative to be here and the positive here, because remember, when you do FOIL, this is going to be negative 6my, and this is going to be positive my. So if you add those up, you get negative 5my, which is what you have in the middle term, correct? So that's why I picked the signs this way. Okay, so this is the correct factorization right here for the top. And now let's do it for the bottom. All right, let's erase this so that I can put it underneath. Over, I have 12m plus 2y, so definitely 2 is a factor. That's going to leave me with 6m plus y. All right. We don't have to identify the values of m and y here. We just have to express in expanded form, so now it's time to cancel. And there's only one thing we can cancel. It's right here. So our final answer is just m minus y over 2. Okay, so let's put that in. We're going to have m minus y over 2. Oops, sorry, 2. Okay, and let's do a check, and that's correct. Okay, maybe we'll do one more. Okay, let's do one more. So here again, same thing. Simplify and then identify your values of k, which make the expression undefined. So looks like I have a 9k squared and I have a 10. There's no GCF here, so I'm just going to go straight at it. I think it's going to look something like this. It's going to have a 9k and then it's going to have a k. And this is step 1, just factor completely, right? So the back term is 10, but I need negative 33. Now that's going to be tough with 9 in front. Or is it? 5 and 2? No, I'm not going to get it. So this, I'm going to have to break up the 9 here. So let's break the 9 up. Break that into 3 and 3, and let's see what happens. 3 and 3. Okay. Yeah, that's going to work. And then it's going to be 10 and 1. All right, I know if I'm confusing some people with the factoring, I know it's confusing, but again, you could do it this way. Okay, again, or you could do it by borrow and payback. Remember, borrow and payback for this. But I'm doing it, get more guess and check. And then the middle term is negative 33, so it's going to probably be both negative and negative, because the product is positive, but the sum is negative, so they're both negative. And that's correct factorization. And then the 18 here. The 18 here, I believe 18 goes into, let me see, it goes into it once. And then it's going to be 2. No, so that's not going to work. It looks like, how about a 2? Yeah. If I take out a 2k, look what happens. If I take out 2k, I get 9k squared minus 100. And this, folks, is a difference of 2 squares. So that's going to factor into 3k plus 10 and 3k minus 10, correct? Just like that. And look at that. I have 3k minus 10's top and bottom, right? Which are going to factor. Now before I do that, let's identify again our restricted values for k. So 1.5, step 1.5. Definitely, so the 2k equals 0, so therefore k is 0. That's our first one, correct? And then the second was 3k plus 10 is equal to 0. So this one's going to be k is equal to negative 10 thirds. That's the second one. That's 3, by the way. Okay, 3. And then the final one is 3k minus 10 is equal to 0. So your final restriction is k is equal to 10 thirds. There's 3 of them here. Okay, 0, negative 10 thirds, positive 10 thirds. So I'm going to click them just while I'm at it. 0, positive 10 thirds, negative 10 thirds, or the other way around. Okay, and now let's write this, let's cancel and write the simplified. So these two cancel out. So it's 3k minus 1 over, they wanted to expand it, so we have to multiply this out. All right, I know. 3k minus 1 more work, right, is equal to, and multiply these two out. So we're going to have, what, 6k squared plus 20k, correct? Like that. So 2k times 3k is 6k squared. 2k times 10 is 20k. And let's write that in. And I think that we'll call it a day. So 3k minus 1 over 6k squared plus 20k. And hopefully we did all our math correctly, and that is correct. Okay? All right, take care, folks.